it's still going to be a run-heavy offense?
Well, I think that the head coach is the former offensive coordinator, and they have the same offensive line back, except they lost their center. They've got 3 backs back, and one of them in particular we know was an NFL back. They got a big tight end back. So their offensive coordinator now was the offensive coordinator at FAU last year, and he did a lot of the similar stuff than what they do. So we're pretty much thinking it's going to be very similar to what we've seen. But then again, they got new staff on offense, so who knows what they're going to be doing. So, we're trying to do as good a job as we can about preparing for the unknown. Obviously, they'll give us something that we have not seen before, and but we just got to make sure that our IQ is high enough that we can adapt to that.
Now that you've had the ability to watch film from Saturday, and now that fall camp's kind of in the rear view, just some of the guys that maybe have separated themselves as far as depth goes.
Well, pretty much by default, Justin Clifton is a starting nickel. I mean, we do know that, and that's why you saw us the other day work Xavier out there at nickel just to make sure. We like Trent Ellis, but then once again he's a true freshman, so he's still making mistakes. So we got to bring him along casually. Same thing with B.J. Edmonds, and same thing with Jeremy Smith. Those freshmen have done a really good job. We expect those guys to travel with us. We expect them to play, and so the rest of it is pretty much guys that's been here, and they've all done a good job. And we're deeper in the front 7 than we've been in the 2 years that we've been here. So we're just a little shallow at the corner position. That's why you saw us move Chris out there some to get a look at him and refresh his memory from the summer.
As far as being able to now focus on Toledo, how nice is that now that fall camp's over and you guys can focus on an opponent now?
Oh, it's great. It becomes monotonous, it really is coaches. But, our whole focus has been Arkansas State, and we had a lot of work to do, and I think we did get a lot of good work in. And but it's nice to know that we're actually going to get to go play a game now and get to tackle on defense and try to make plays.
Is that the most difficult part of this work? You don't get to tackle and take people to ground?
Yeah, it is. And so, you just kind of, you hold your breath every time you tackle in a scrimmage, a live situation. I'm one of the first ones to vote for tackling, but, this last week I was one of the first ones to say, look, I'd rather go not, just because, we didn't need anybody hurt. I mean, we're playing with an NFL roster, and we just can't afford any injuries. So, yeah, that's the part that we have to do a good job of coaching with in our fundamentals and our individual period, and hopefully that'll come to play next Friday.
10 days from Toledo, what do you want to see from your defense?
I just want to see them try to get better and diagnose our game plan, and absorb that and start making the right checks and so forth that we feel like that we've got in place for them, and just see great communication. I'd like to see our communication get higher and higher, us communicating. There's a couple guys that we got out there that are new, that are quiet, and we got to get those guys talking.
Thank you, Coach.
You betcha.
See what you wanted to see out of today's practice.
It was with 2 days off, they came out. The execution was there. We'd like to see flying around a little bit more, but sometimes that happens. A couple days off, get a little sluggish, but we did execute, which was good. We just got to fly around a little bit better.
Now that you've been able to see the film, and it seems as if, as far as the quarterback position goes, it's kind of been evaluated, just now your thoughts on that?
We're still at the same point, really. Both of them did some good things the other day, when they were in there with the ones. So you'll see both of them.
As far as getting that game plan ready and prepared, I mean, it seems like one of the things that Coach Anderson talked about is being able to shift all these plays down into a smaller amount to get the offense's attention. I mean, you're able to focus a lot better, just being able to tailor that down.
Yeah, anytime you get into a game week preparation, obviously you don't carry in your entire package. If they're a 3-man front team or a 4-man front team, you're going to do the things to against that defense than you wouldn't do maybe against what we've been going against all summer. So, yeah, we're definitely tailoring it down.
Can you see a difference in the guys now that you're starting to turn your attention to Toledo instead of the monotony of fall camp?
Yeah, I think that's the thing is this week right here is always the toughest week probably of the year, because you don't play an opponent on Saturday. You've got 2 weeks to get ready, for Toledo, and they just started school and got a lot of new things, new schedule and stuff like that. So, we'll be ready come next Friday, but we're not ready right now.
what do you think you need to do most of to get ready for Toledo?
I think the biggest thing is to come out with mental focus and concentrate on doing the little things. In the first game, if you just come out and execute, don't play sloppy. Obviously protect the ball, know your assignment better than your opponent, then you always got a chance to win.
Looked like at the end you had your #1 offensive line out there for the first time, I think, since camp started.
It was definitely the first time in a while. It was good to see those guys back. We've got to stay healthy there, and so good to see them back.
Thanks. What did you want to get accomplished today, and did you get it accomplished?
Started doing a little bit of installation, just a little, not much, last 15 minutes. And wanted to finish up our last kind of couple situations. We did off-schedule downs. Don't like them to happen, but when you have a holding call or a movement call or something that happens to the offense, you end up with 1st and 15, 17, 20, one of those type of deals. And you got to be patient and try to overcome it. And for defenses, when we get opponents in that situation, we got to make sure we don't let them off the hook. And thought the defense did a great job. They finished every series making a punt. Offense had a couple chances to move it and didn't. And it'd be good teaching. We just made a couple mistakes that would have kept us from moving the chains and really getting out of the hole. And had a couple of those during camp, but not specifically, not really talking about it, not really teaching it. And so I thought that was one of the most productive periods of the day.
How'd you feel about the energy from the group today?
I was a little sluggish. It was good early. I thought once we got to the teaching phase, because we really haven't flipped scouts yet, it was a little sluggish. And we'll actually trade scouts tomorrow. We'll have guys that react a little bit better. It's too much standing around for what we really want, but there are times when you teach that it's going to be slower. It's just frustrating to watch. I thought they finished up good in Pascal and 2 minutes, which was good to see. But we'll want to pick the tempo up. Scrimmage on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 2 days. That has kind of been a challenge to get them back. It's a new schedule, class all day. It's been a little different, and I'm not sure we responded, quite the way we wanted to.
Turn your full attention to the game plan for Toledo win.
Really tomorrow. Try to get 3 days in, this week, and practices won't be quite as long. We'll shorten them up. It'll be crisp, but we'll install the game plan little by little. Mock game, which is all situations for us Friday, and then Saturday morning get a good look, and Sunday, and you look up and it's game time. So we still got an opportunity to get some work in and narrow down the game plan. I mean, we're not going to create anything new, but we do need to narrow it down and focus, I think, on what we're actually going to run.
How much information do you have on Toledo? They do have a new staff.
Yeah.
Well, the offense coordinator moved up to be the head coach.
It's a lot of guesswork. I think it's like any first game, you never truly know if people, even if they didn't change staffs, if they're going to make changes. But it's even more of guesswork here because they brought people in from the outside. And you just don't know whose personality is going to fit. I always feel like first games are more about us taking care of us. I mean, not turning the ball over, not making stupid mistakes, penalties, sloppy play, and not worried near as much about the opponent. We know they're going to be physically good, and that's enough. And we know they're strong and stout, and they're going to be sound. But it's going to come down to us just not beating ourselves and giving ourselves a chance to win. So I'm not sure it's as much about what they do as it is about what we do.
Game's about 10 days away. Are you thinking, you want the game to be kicking off tomorrow, or you want some more time?
Well, the nervous energy is ready to go, and I think the guys are tired of seeing each other, but we're not ready yet. We still got things we need to clean up, and so we can utilize the time. Six more work days, and you're right, 10 days total with some meetings and walkthroughs, and maybe even, obviously another recovery day in the middle of that, which their bodies still need. They're not ready to play today, just physically. We're still getting their legs back. We ran them a lot. We built a good foundation, so it'll take the next week. But yeah, everybody's tired of seeing each other.
Now that you're getting into scout team stuff, I mean, as far as establishing that 2 deep and getting everybody where they're going to be, I mean, how close are you to that at this point?
We're pretty close. I mean, I don't know that we know. There may be some guys that are still battling 1 and 2, but they know they're in the mix. And there's still a few guys that are on the bubble. We don't have to travel week 1, so we can have as many suited out as we want. We're going to be traveling to Auburn. It's non-conference, so really there's no limit on how many we play. I think the first real, kind of hard line in terms of numbers is going to be when we get on the plane to fly to Utah State. I mean, there's only so many we're going to be able to take, and we know that gives us a couple weeks to kind of make some decisions. And there's a few battles still going on as to who's going to be where and maybe who's going to be on a special team or a starter. And, but for the most part, I'd say 90% of what we're doing is done, and now it's just down to the little thing: who gets how many reps and when, in what sub packages and what times of the game.
Since it's a new year, next week the game's on a Friday. It is at home, but just kind of lay out next week as far as how it's going to play itself out.
Well, we're gonna work through the next 3 days, building game plan. Like I said, Friday evening is going to be a mock kind of situational, almost like a glorified walkthrough. It'll be really slow and a lot of teaching. Saturday and Sunday are work days. Saturday morning, Sunday evening, work days. I'm going to give them some time off during the day to spend time with their families. Monday's a normal off day for us because of school and labs and classes. And it will really be short and crisp, helmets only on Tuesday, Wednesday, and really our normal day before the game, Thursday, and then Friday night, kick it off in front of hopefully a sold-out crowd.
Things about your head coach, Silky.
I got you.
Say good things about your head coach because you love it, man.
Well, how do you feel like practice went today?
Well, it wasn't what we wanted to be. It was a little sluggish, as Coach said. Like the tempo wasn't there. We was putting in to some of Toledo. We was in having like a little learning curve, trying to learn at the same time and going fast. But we got to pick it up tomorrow, basically.
When you're working on tempo, how difficult is it when you're trying to install a game plan for an opponent as opposed to just working on all your stuff?
Well, it's pretty much the same because we run a lot of the same stuff. It's just recognizing against what the defense give you and how like certain cuts and certain breaks where you're supposed to do in and out of the plays. But it's pretty much the same. It's all up to us to go hard or not or be mediocre.
Let's just cut to the chase, Silky. This is third time now playing Toledo, and I know you guys have probably had some conversations about the last 2 times. Just the thought of the team as you guys get ready to face Toledo, but this time at home.
Oh, bad blood. And we not losing at home. We don't lose at home. We got to protect the vault, and we want them bad because, first of all, they beat us in the bowl game, and they beat us at their house, and it wasn't pretty neither time, so it's different outcome at home.
How do you feel about this offense? Now that you've got a new offensive coordinator, it seems that you guys are rolling pretty well as you guys finished up fall camp and getting ready for this prep.
I pretty much feel the same. Both offenses was fast-paced. This one is kind of more passing-wise than the last one because we had Freddie also. It'll give you a different threat with a rushing quarterback, but it's pretty much the same and kind of easier a little bit.
What do you feel like you need to do between now and next Friday night before game 1 to get ready?
Learn more about Toledo, take coaching, and stay healthy.